Hello friends, welcome back to Notebook. In this chapter on the climate of India, we shall study the general climate of India, the different seasons and how the monsoon behaves. However, before we proceed, let us understand the difference between weather, season and climate. These are three terms that you will come across very often indeed. Weather is the state of atmosphere at any point in time. It refers to the day-to-day state of the atmosphere and its short-term variation over time periods that can be as small as minutes. Weather, thus, can vary greatly even within a single day. The elements of weather are temperature, atmospheric pressure, wind, humidity, and precipitation. In spite of fluctuations, there are some common weather patterns during a few weeks or a few months. On the basis of these relatively long-term trends, the year is divided into seasons like summer, winter, and rainy seasons. Climate is the average weather of a large area spread over a long period of time, typically 30 years or more. The elements of climate, therefore, are the same as the elements of weather. What is the type of climate that India has? Well, India has the monsoon type of climate, typically found in South and Southeast Asia. But why do we say that India has a monsoon type of climate? That's because India's climate is heavily influenced by the monsoon winds, both advancing and retreating. We shall study that a little later. This, however, does not mean that India has the same type of climate everywhere and always. Summer temperature can be 50 degrees Celsius in Rajasthan, but 20 degrees Celsius in Jammu and Kashmir. Winter temperature in certain areas can dive well below 0 degrees Celsius, but in Kerala, it can be in the early 20s. Annual rainfall can be as high as 400 centimeters in Meghalaya, but as low as 10 centimeters in places like Ladakh and West Rajasthan. While most parts of India receive rainfall between June and September, some parts like the Tamil Nadu coast gets heavy rainfall during October and November. Variation in temperature is much less in the coastal areas than in the interior areas of the country. Again, the eastern part of the northern plains receives more rainfall than the western part. On your screen, friends, is India's climate map. You can see the variations yourself. What are the factors that affect the climate of a region? In other words, what are the climatic controls? There are 6 such controls, which you can see on your screen. Let us briefly study how and why each of these factors affect the climate. How does latitude of a region affect its climate? Well, solar energy decreases from the equator towards the poles due to the curvature of the earth and also its axis of rotation, which results in decreasing temperatures from the equator towards the poles. What about altitude? Why does it affect the climate? That's because higher altitudes result in lower atmospheric pressure and lower temperature. The pressure and wind system is yet another important climatic control. Why? Because the latitude and altitude of a place together affect the pressure and wind system of a place. This in turn decides the temperature and rainfall. The sea moderates the temperature of a place. Places closer to the sea experience moderate temperatures, while those away from the sea experience extreme temperatures. This feature is known as continentality, and it increases with the distance from the sea. The next factor that we shall study is ocean currents. Actually, it is ocean currents along with onshore winds. Onshore winds, which flow from the ocean towards a landmass, can reduce the temperature of a place if the ocean currents are cold, and conversely increase the temperature if the ocean currents are hot. The last important factor that affects climate is the relief features. High mountains can block hot or cold winds from blowing in or blowing out, thus affecting the temperature of a place. They may also cause rainfall on the windward side if they are in the path of rain-bearing winds, while the leeward side remains relatively dry. We shall join you again in the next video. Till then, do go through the notes and the question bank compiled especially for you.